you also try and finish low. Start low, finish low. After this video, you're going to know exactly what to do. You're going to know exactly what the problem is with your forehand. So stay tuned all the way to the end of the video, because I'm going to give you the top 10 tips that I can almost promise you that the mistakes you're making on your forehand. Okay, if some of them sound boring, stay tuned, because somewhere within these 10 tips there's going to be something that you're doing wrong on your forehand. The first thing you need to watch is be careful that you're not using a continental grip on your forehand. Bevel 2, okay, the game has changed way too much for you to use continental. Complete opposite side of it, please don't use Bevel 5, which is full Western. This is Jules, she's joining us for the video, so just excuse her. If you go full Western, you're going to find yourself in trouble on the low ball, and if you hit the ball late, you're in big trouble. So don't use the full Western. All right, this is the first step. What you can use is Bevel number 3 Eastern. Very, very ideal. Very ideal for the forehand. Eastern, like Federer. And also nothing wrong with going to semi-Western. Bevel 4, nothing wrong. And my personal favorite is right in the middle. Some people call it the Hawaiian grip. In the middle of Bevel 3 and Bevel 4, semi-Western. You go in the middle there. So let me show you a bit closer. There's Eastern, there's semi-Western. On that little line, you put your knuckle, boom. Hawaiian grip. Very ideal, very comfortable for me as well. All right, let's move on to tip number 2. When you talk about power on your forehand, many players use the left arm to get power. Nothing wrong with that. But if you overdo it, if you pull your left arm too soon, too much, your whole body opens up and you're going to be in trouble. If you watch the pros, they set up the left arm, they do use some opposite force like this, but it comes into the body and then stays there. So there is a little bit of a jerk and then it stays there, doesn't go too much. So if you go too much, this is what's going to happen. You lose control. Look at my left arm, way too soon. Be very careful not to do that. Now look at what I do. If I use my left arm for power, but I control it at the end still. So there, it comes in still. There, comes in still. All right, so I'll hit one against the fence so you can see my left arm. There. If you're struggling with that, it's not a bad idea to catch your racket on top for a while. So it's still coming, but you catch it. Let's move on. Extremely important tip number 3, guys. A lot of players, so many players, pop up on the forehand. When you pop up on the forehand, you lose power, accuracy, anything can happen to the ball. So when you're setting up to the ball, be very careful not to jump up, or especially on the wide ball, many players jump up on the ball without realizing. A good way is to feel like you balanced before and you balanced after. Okay, so you don't just start low, you also try and finish low. Start low, finish low. It's also a great way to make sure your body weight is going in the right direction. So don't pop up. Let's go to number 4. Okay guys, this one ties into the left arm pulling, but sometimes players, the left arm is in control, but they still look away from the ball too soon. So for instance, they're hitting the ball and they look away too soon. I'm not saying be like Federer and try and watch the ball on the strings, but you have to watch the ball as long as possible, okay? So if you hit your forehand and you look away too soon, you're running the risk of losing timing under pressure, missing balls you don't want to miss. So look at my head now. I'm going to watch the ball a little bit longer and then release afterwards. Watch it, keep my head still, release afterwards. Watch it. So it will also help you. You don't have to focus on trying to watch the ball on the strings, but it will also help you just to keep your head still a little bit longer and then release. Champions, moving on to tip number 5. I hope you're enjoying it. I hope you've already found something that you need to work on. While you're at it, why don't you please like this video, subscribe for the algorithms. It really helps me. Also, grab my ebook in the description below. You'll get to know me and get crazy tips. It will change your career. Now, the hip stuck drill or tip that you got to watch is, and this applies for closed stance and open stance. I like the open stance, but if you like to play closed stance, be careful not to keep your hip stuck. So, because remember, you get power out of your hips, so you load power out of the hips. So if I go closed stance and my hip stays behind, I'm so stuck, it's all arm, I'm losing out. So notice I'm going close stance, but I bring my hip through. Also notice how this helps me to get my body weight going forward. Now open stance, what players also do is they go open stance and then they stay there, okay? Watch Nadal, all their players with the best open stance forehands, they load and the outside leg actually finishes in front of the left leg. So now you get the power from the open stance as well as the hip coming through for power. So load, open stance, and my right hip still comes through. Load, comes through. Very important. Close stance, bring the hip through, open stance, outside leg goes through. Let's move on. All right, one of my personal favorites, many players don't realize it, but they're trying to hit the ball with their muscle. And it starts with how you're gripping your racket. So if you're gripping your racket, I always tell players, if 10 out of 10 is gripping it as hard as you can, try and go for 4 out of 10, the racket is just chilling in your hand, okay? So if you grip your racket too hard, you try and muscle it, you're losing out on spin, accuracy, promise you it won't work under pressure. Get this feeling, it's very, very loose, let the racket do the work. End up getting more spin, more accuracy, and more power. Always tell players, if you let go of control with the racket, you'll end up having more control. Remember that. Okay, tip number 7, champions. Also a very important one. If you're focusing too much on your follow through, where am I finishing? Is my follow through correct? You're gonna find yourself in trouble because it's not really about the follow through. If you watch the pros, sometimes they follow through a little bit lower, sometimes they follow through a little bit higher. So what do you have to focus on? You have to focus on the preparation, number 1. Number 2, also the contact point. So you never want to only hit one ball, okay? You want to try and hit 1, 2, 3, as many as you need to fix your follow through. Go for 2 balls, 2 to 7 balls follow through. And then the trick is, once you've hit 7 balls, you can release, let the racket go wherever it wants. Because on the high ball, hit 7 balls, you will finish a little bit higher. On the low ball, short ball, hit 7, you will finish a little bit lower. So if you could just look at the side, from the side view, I'm going to show you. So all I'm focusing on is, there's not one ball, there's a couple balls behind it, and I'm going to hit all of them. On the high ball, you'll notice my follow through changes automatically. Low ball, it goes lower. Short ball, automatically your follow through will go a bit lower. So don't be obsessed with your follow through. Be obsessed with hitting enough balls through the ball and then let the racket fall where it wants to. Tip number 8, guys, it might sound very basic, but you're losing balance. A lot of players on the wide ball, they don't realize they lose balance and actually take a couple extra steps to the right trying to keep their balance. On the setting ball, a lot of players pull out of it to the left, trying to generate more power like everyone wants. Again, it ties into, I think it's tip number 4, with staying down, but you want to be balanced before and after the ball. A great way to think of it is, do I have a little bit of body weight, even if it's a little bit, going to my target? So if I'm going down the line on the wide ball, do I have a little bit of body weight going forward? If I'm going cross court, do I have a little bit of body weight going to my target? Very, very important. Where's my body weight going? If your body weight's falling all over the place, the ball is going to go all over the place. Always remember, the ball is going to go where your body goes. Okay guys, I hope you can forgive me. It wasn't 10 tips, it was 9, but it's still going to help you and change your forehand. This one, it ranks definitely in the top 3 for me. And it's the different mindset between hitting the ball hard and fast. You want to be hitting the ball fast with your hand and not hard, okay? So if you listen to the sound of my racket, if you're trying to hit the ball hard, there's less racket head speed. If you're trying to get the racket going fast, more relaxed, more racket head speed. Okay, so this is me trying to hit the ball hard. Okay, I'm actually focusing on the ball and how hard I can hit it. Now I'm going to focus on how fast can I get my racket from point A to point B. There's little jewels running around with the ball. Anyway, so how fast can I swing my racket? Here we go. Fast. I'm not trying to break the ball, I'm trying to swing my racket fast through it. It's so important, guys. Can you swing your racket fast through the ball, and not how hard can you hit the ball? Stay tuned for my next video. If you want to find out how to hit the ball more flat, more winners, it's on the screen right now. Click it, and thank you so much for watching.